We're back with Kristen Wenzel with the Hospice of the Red River Valley talking about grief and kids. And we've got a viewer question.
Okay.
Let's pop that up and we can see what it is. I recently lost my mother and it was unexpected. I'm barely coping with the loss. I know my young kids are missing their Nana. And goes on to say, how do I keep going and help them at the same time? We touched on it briefly.
We talked about it a little bit, and
yeah.
I do think that it is one of those biggest challenges, because when we are parenting a child through grief of our own, it is my belief that parenting really needs to come first. We kind of have to put ourselves to the back burner, and hopefully that you can have good supports and people in your lives that can help you when you need it, because your children are going to be very sporadic. They are going to come to you when they need it, but the problem with children is it may not come out just as grief. It may come out as behavior at school. It may come out with temper tantrums at home. Many times we meet with families that say, you know, my kid is getting great grades at school, everything's wonderful, but they get home and it's horrible. How do we deal with it? You know, they've kept it together all day at school, and then all of a sudden they have to come home and have to really realize that this is real. So I think one of the things that is most important is to do what you need to do to take care of yourself away from your children. Of course, let your children see you cry. It's okay to let them see you. Kids learn from us. What we do is how they're going to figure out how to deal with any situation throughout the rest of their lives.
So if it's with kids, could you put together a photo album?
Absolutely.
And say, this is Nana?
You know, we have our Youth Journeys program coming up this weekend, and that's one of the things that we do. The day is full of activities that we do with kids, especially dependent on their age. Do things like photo albums, read them books, show them pictures, do those kinds of things, especially if there is a child that maybe doesn't know the person that died really well. You want to keep that memory alive and keep that to a point.
How authentic do you be with your kids? I think a lot of parents try to sort of cover up, like, I'm okay, mom's okay, dad's okay. So
I think you need to be very authentic. I think you really need to be honest with your children, but in the same thing, only give them what they can handle. You know, I know that there are times when you want to tell your child everything that's going on. It's important to keep them aware and let them know, you know what, I really miss Dad right now. How do you feel about this? And they may be in a different spot, but I think it's okay. And it's okay to let them see you cry. And how you deal with it is going to be, again, how they deal with things for the rest of their lives. So we're going to be able to teach our children how to grieve as adults and do it in a proper way.
Especially since it's okay to grieve, because a lot of people really hold it inside. And,
oh, absolutely.
And, you know, especially with some of the heritage around here, you don't let it out,
oh,
you know?
heaven forbid, yes, exactly.
Yes, got to keep it in my house, not show anyone that I'm weak.
We absolutely want to know, but it's also important to let them know that there are times and places when it is appropriate and it isn't. And one of the things that I think is really important with kids is parents sometimes think you can't discipline your child when you're in the midst of grief. Keeping a schedule, keeping your kids with the rules that they're used to is very, very important. Because as I said, kids are good. They're going to figure out what they can use and what they can't use. And so to be sure to let them know that, you know, things are going to be the same even though they're very different. And I think that's a challenge for parents too.
Really good advice,
Yeah.
Kristen Wenzel.
Yes.
Thank you. Bereavement specialist with the Red River Hospice with the Red River Valley.
Yeah.
And people can give you a call too, right, if they have any questions.
Absolutely. And we do have our programming this weekend, so if you have a child age 6 to 18 that's interested, give us a call today if possible. So
Thank you so much.
yeah,
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.